There's starting to be too many things in the control panel, and it's very hard to get to where we need to go.
Control panel turning into a control cluster.
Yeah, there's too many controls. It's like the controls on the Millennium Falcon. It's impossible to figure out unless you're a master of using the control panel, you know?
Yeah.
I'm saying that we're the Han Solo and the Chewie, dude, of the internet.
Clearly you're Chewie. Nice. Nailed it.
Nailed it. I don't know how to do the Chewie. I've gotten it to work a few times, but I forget how to do it. Can you do a Chewie impression?
I used to, but I can't do anything really where I roll my R's because when I do, it makes my tongue-piercing barbell like click against the back of my teeth. It does not feel good.
I don't know if it's like a tongue-rolling thing, or I think it's more like in the back of your throat for the Chewie noise. It's like a combo.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's like weirdly like vibrates your tongue in the back of your throat. But yeah, that's we're going into hyperspace and we're...
Do you agree that you're Chewy? You're definitely Chewy.
I mean, well, I think I'm furrier than you.
Well, that and also like cuz you do like the more technical work in the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Of the people also search for control panel, that is.
Yeah.
And also, I'm more of an asshole. Like Han Solo.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, I'm the Chewie to your Han Solo.
Oh, wait. I was going to show you.
You die before I do. Spoilers. What?
Oh, I'm Han Solo. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I got distracted because I was going to... God damn it. I was going to show you this...
Han, don't drop your gun.
That's what I... That's
the coloring book?
The owl that I colored.
Oh, wow. Jacob got paid to be an artist last week by drawing in a children's coloring book.
I didn't draw in it, Ryan. I colored in it.
You're right. There's no drawing.
And with the limited amount of colors that I had,
that's pretty good.
There was not even a yellow at all to speak of. Rest of this color spectrum pretty decent on, but and half of the pencils were like nubs, and there was no sharpener.
It looks like a psychedelic owl. You were real creative with your colors there.
You kind of have to be when it's like a paisley pattern.
That's true. Yeah, if you would have just made that gray, it would have ruined it. Like, I'd say that's the typical owl color is gray.
Sure.
Yeah, there's and then there's snow owls, and those are white.
There's a snow owl on the cover of a Deftones album.
Oh, really?
It's called Diamond Eyes. It's probably from about Deftones.
Oh, God. Go there.
Was that an autocorrect, or did you just spell it that poorly?
I wasn't looking at the keyboard, and I screwed up.
Nice.
Deftones owl.
It's called Diamond Eyes.
Oh, okay.
I like that.
That's scary. It's like, it's kind of weird. Like, I never noticed, but when the owls have a different color on the top of their head, it just looks like they're wearing a little yarmulke.
Yeah, it's pretty cute.
Yeah, it's like a Jewish owl.
A jewel.
Oh yeah, a jewel. A jewel in the rough. Of the forest.
Welcome to People Also Search For, where we unendingly bring up Ryan's Jewish heritage.
Well, when it's part of you, you just can't forget it.
You don't want to forget it, Ryan. Never forget.
I won't.
That's the never forget. That's about the Holocaust, right?
Yeah, you never. Yeah, of course. I don't think so, right? Like the hashtag never forget.
Oh yeah, totally. It's about the.
Yeah, it's just about it's about making sure that
it's about the Jewish.
The Holocaust doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
9/11. It was a bad time. Yeah.
It happened on.
Yeah, 9/11.
Yeah, 9/11, 1939. Right? Never forget.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's when that happened.
I swear that I one time got a jelly wristband that had a stamp in it that said hashtag 9/11 never forget the Jewish Holocaust.
Wait, really?
No.
I thought that maybe like that actually that's where that came from. Like that joke.
No, I just feel like we could start infusing a little bit more gaslighting into our show, Ryan.
Yeah, you're right. So, yeah, we may as well just bring false information to the people mixed with the real information.
Yeah,
so nobody
exactly.
ever knows what's false and real.
Well, plus a majority of the things that we read facts from are on Wikipedia. So, I mean, I think the credibility of our factual status is kind of iffy.
This show is 100% fact, Jacob. It always has been.
I think you mean
from episode 1.
I think you mean it's the show where we find the answers to life's greatest questions.
It is, and
including today's topic, which is something else that's a flying animal of our world.
Yeah.
Not an owl, not a snow owl, but
not a cardinal.
No.
Yeah, it's bees. And specifically the keeping of bees.
It took a second for Ryan to get that sentence out because we're haunted by the mangled carcass of a cardinal that's in his backyard.
Yeah, it died right by the trash can. It's like I don't have to transport it far, but it's just like
died as he lived near the trash can.
Always scrounging around for scraps, but now he's become the scraps, what he always loved. He's sitting there pretty close to the trash can. It's a good place to do it, you know.
I mean, you could probably tip the trash can over and like
get it in there with a putter.
Just kick it with your shoe into the like. I don't even know if you have to like pick it up.
No, I'm gonna use a chipper, like a golf club, and just like chip it, like right.
Like a wedge.
Yeah, a wedge, and then it'll go up with a little piece of grass, and then right into the can.
Right into the can.
Yeah. First try.
Sick proper burial, bro.
Yeah.
Getting a sand wedge to chip it into the garbage can.
A bird lives his life flying in the air, so you can't just lower him down slowly on like a little conveyor belt bed thing like they do with people. You have to throw them through the air because that's what they're naturally used to bury them.
Yeah, I mean, it died as it lived.
Yeah.
Flying through the air.
Exactly. So you want to give it that one last, here's your last flight before laying in a box for the rest of your life.
Right when you go to chip it up with the golf club, it just goes into slow motion and you hear it would be similar to like the meme where it's like a guy like shooting off of a water slide, and then it goes like the background gets masked out, and it's like a galaxy, and it's like do 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 do. And then, have you seen those?
I don't think so.
Really?
No.
And then one of them is like that video of the guy that like sees the sloth trying to cross the road, and then he picks it up and carries it, and then like the original meme, it was like fly like an eagle.
Oh man.
And then the new one is like he picks it up and it goes in like a galaxy background, like he's flying, and it's like doo 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 doo.
Man,
there's a whole series of memes with that song as the background.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird. I've never seen one. Maybe I'll have to look one up.
I don't even know what it's called because it's like based on a specific song.
No, I don't know what that meme is either. I could probably type in bird flying getting tossed into the.
Well, no, that's the one that we came up with.
Oh yeah. So basically, like, this isn't something that's real. This is just
Well, the one I said that was real was the guy that's like flying off of a water slide.
Oh yeah, flying off the water slide.
And then I think they did the sloth one as like a remix.
Whoa. Okay.
Like, that is probably my favorite meme ever. Like, that and, like, the Arthur's clenched fist.
Okay.
Like, that song is perfect, too.
It is? Okay, I definitely have a clear picture of what you were talking about in my head now.
Yeah.
So...
That's all that matters.
Yeah. And that's pretty funny image of like it being one of the birds like flying through the air directly after getting chipped off a chipper.
Yeah. I distracted Ryan with a meme that he didn't know about, and I'm sure we're gonna look at more funny videos later. But now, Ryan,
now
you
I
can
understand.
continue with your search
For the beekeeping.
Yeah, bro.
Dude, we need to know how.
You
to
seem
keep
fucking
these
jazzed about it.
I am, because
that sounded like a question. I am.
it's because I didn't know if I was, but I wanted to sound jazzed. But like, you know that like bees, they produce honey from their butts, dude, and we gotta. That's amazing. We don't make anything cool like that.
Yeah, we
like,
just make feces.
Yeah, we make feces and we make like milk, like people milk, like what we talked about before. But like bees produce like honey, and there's like a whole job around just keeping bees. So
yeah, there's actually like results that came up that are for like bee places that are like somewhat near Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And you know, clearly there's a pretty wide market for this type of line of work or hobby, however you see it.
Yeah, I wonder like if you can do it as a hobby and then like sell your honey. I guess like you just keep a bunch of bees at your house. I feel like it'd be really hard to date somebody if you had to bring them home to a bee infested like yard. You know, like I feel like a lot of people would be scared to go in a beekeeper's house.
I mean, you don't have to keep it at your house necessarily.
Yeah, but like I feel like if you were like a small enough business and you're doing it as a hobby, like you would have it at your house.
Maybe.
Like if you were just starting out. But that would make it really... That's a hard hobby to get into and like date with. At least I'd imagine. I wouldn't want to go to a bee... Oh, I might want to go to a bee yard.
Well, maybe there's like beekeepersonly.com.
Like bee swipe.
Yeah, like bee swipe.
Yeah. Just like J swipe.
Because they couldn't use Bumble because that's already taken.
Yeah,
like,
you're right. They're like, dang it.
How am I going to meet all the eligible beekeepettes out there?
I think... And Bumble will never let us buy their brand name.
Nah, they're already solidified.
Yep, they're one of the big boys. But so beekeeping is the maintenance of a bee colony, commonly man-made hives. So they're not like natural bees that have just like come and infested the area.
No.
And you're keeping them there and harvesting their goods.
It's like a farm.
Yeah, it's a farm. So most such bees are honeybees in the genus Apis. But other honey-producing bees, such as Melipona stingless bees, are also kept.
Melipona.
Melipony Express.
Well,
I mean the bees. Do you think the bees have something like the pony, like a delivery system, like the Pony Express?
Well,
where they trade honey back and forth.
From what I hear, they probably do. Like they're pretty intelligent and they like communicate. And bees actually have like a hierarchical system to their whole like species.
I'm just gonna go ahead and type in "how's the bee system work" and figure out
how's the bee system work.
Oh look, how do beehives work? I mean,
there you go.
That's perfect. Worker bees gather
pollen. You really represent like the middle like most relatable part of the Venn diagram when it comes to searching. It's not incredibly stupid, but it's not like an intelligently phrased question. So you kind of like get in, like you kind of ask the things that probably a lot of other people ask.
Yeah. Well, and that's what makes us relatable. And this is information that we need to know.
Yeah, so I'm glad you bring that to the table.
Yeah, because I'm the lesser intelligent of the two. That's also why I'm Chewy. That's why I'm Chewy, dude.
I didn't say that. You said it.
I mean, you're literally saying that Chewy. You said that Han's the asshole, and he's like he's the brains behind the operation.
Not necessarily.
Oh.
Plus, I said Chewy does all the technical work, so that means Han probably had less of an idea how to work everything than Chewie.
You could be right. I don't know. Well, ship wise, yeah, but I feel like Han was like he's like the player, you know, like he's
more of the politician of the two.
Yeah.
And Chewie just kind of does like the hard work and technical side.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. But which kind of bee are we?
I don't know. I assume that I would just be like a worker bee.
I'd be the queen bee. Making love to all the worker bees and then producing our young and making that royal honey, which maybe we'll learn about later. But
the royal honey?
Yeah. Well, we'll see how beehives work first. So, okay. So worker bees gather pollen and nectar, which is carried back to the nest. The workers also store supplies, care for the queen, the babies, clean the nest, and maintain the internal structure of the hive. So they're like stay-at-home dads. To ensure it functions smoothly, reproduction, and to ensure honey is produced at its highest volume possible. So yeah. So they take care of the queen. They store the supply. You know, they take care of the house.
I wonder what it means by maintain the internal structure of the hive.
Well,
like there's overseers to make sure that everyone's like pulling their weight.
Well, I don't know if it's that. I think it means like the actual like construction of the hive itself. Like they're like carpenters. So like let's say like one of the planks of your wall come off of your house. Like the carpenter would go and fix the wall. Like the structure of their home.
So there's like contractor bees.
Yeah, those are the contractors of the group.
And then there's also the stay-at-home dad bees.
Yep. And
those are more domesticated.
Yeah, they're taking care of the queens and the babies.
They're like soy boy bees, but they're still necessary to the, to the whole grand scheme.
And they hang out and just tell dad jokes to each other all day. Oh man, what would be a dad joke that a bee would say? Like,
what? A dad joke that a bee would say?
Yeah, like that bee, like that dad bee.
I don't fucking know. That's like so specific. I could probably come up with one, but it would just be really hacky and stupid.
That's what I want it to be. Dad joke about bees. I need to know here. We're not this creative.
This is giving me flashbacks to the popsicle stick jokes episode of Bonkers Let's Play. And that was just such a fucking nightmare. I was glad that I was distracted by playing the game, because, God.
Oh, okay, this is perfect. Okay, so the bee, like the bee dad goes home to his wife, and he's just like,
fucking God.
Why did the bee get married? And he's like, because he found his honey. And he like calls her his honey. Yeah, that's there you go. That's the dad joke that the bees say when they go, when they're hanging out. The domesticated ones. All right, cool.
That just ruined my day, Ryan.
Why? That's the highbrow comedy that we bring to the table that people also search for.
That's your idea of highbrow comedy, is it?
Yep, it is.
That must be why you love anime so much.
That's definitely why. Comedy in anime is
I don't even know if you could call it comedy.
It's a certain type of comedy.
It's
full comedy series.
I don't think a character flipping upside down onto their head with like a giant sweat drops like coming out
that's
of the
not all it is. You gotta watch something like Nichijou or like Daily Lives of High School Boys.
Oh my fucking God.
That show is so funny.
Man. You really weaseled in like a degenerate Ryan's Weeb Corner that time.
Yeah, that was your Ryan's Weeb Corner.
I feel like I have to beep out the last name of the show you said.
Why?
It's fucked up.
No, that show is funny. Dude, that show is funny.
It just sounds like something that, like a convicted pedophile would have had on their fucking hard drive.
There's plenty of animes that have titles that sound bad, but this is a comedy show that's like got nothing really that bad in it at all.
I don't even want to give this any more time. Like,
fine.
It's just, you're not going to justify it in my mind. So.
Fine, I won't try and justify it, but let the listeners can go justify it themselves.
Yeah,
by trying it out.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Just watch good shows.
Just go become a beekeeper in your spare time, and like you can make some money off creating your own jarred honey. You can sell at those little stores on the side of the road where their Amish people are. Don't you know?
Wow.
What? Yeah, that's okay. So,
what do we want to know about bees? Like, I mean, you read like the overall thing. Like that was from Hive and Honey Apiary.
I just wanted to see how the bee system worked. But
is there more of a hierarchy? Like, go onto the website and see if it like goes into more detail, because they actually are pretty interesting little creatures. Oh! Excuse me.
Okay, well, this is completely different than what it said before. So this is, how does a beehive work? The phrase busy as a bee probably stems from the concept of the honeybee hive itself. For individuals who are wondering how does a beehive work, it is important to know what comprises the hive. The actual hive is defined as an enclosed structure where the honeybees lay their young. Man-made structures, typically as apiary, are also referred to as beehives where the colony lives. But that doesn't tell us about the hierarchy of bees, so I guess I could... Oh, wait.
There's a few more paragraphs here.
There's
the function of the hive, which says the honeybee hive is typically structured with the queen bee as the leader, where the worker bees are her followers. The queen bee's main function is to reproduce with the worker bees, wink, in order to create the drones. Once a new virgin queen bee emerges, the original queen bee will have its head torn off and eaten, or just leave the hive.
Oh, that's terrible, though. Like, you have to give birth, essentially, and eat a crap ton as your job, but then as soon as, like, a new queen is born, like, you just have to leave, and you, like, can't stay there anymore? Do you just go off to die on your own?
Well, you know, they've served their purpose and had their moment in the spotlight, so, you know, sometimes it's time to move on.
I guess that's true. It's like a one-hit wonder.
Especially when there's a new hot queen bee that's, you know...
Yeah,
not
much younger,
not all wrinkly. Yeah. Anyways, worker bees gather pollen and nectar, which is carried back to the nest.
Oh God, I was gonna say they got that sweet nubile honey.
Workers also store supplies.
That was too far.
Care for the queen, the babies, clean the nest, and maintain the internal structure of the hive to ensure it functions smoothly, reproduction, and to ensure honey is produced at its highest volume possible. So that does sound like what I was saying earlier, like overseer bees that are like, you have to meet your quota, like, you know, they have like little bee whips where they're like, get back to work, make more honey now.
And then one of them, like, passes out, and he's, like, laying on the ground sweating, and, like, they start whipping him more, and he's like, you get up, boy!
I ain't got nothing left, sir. I need some water. I need it.
It's like, you better get up now and continue working with your load, or we'll kick you out of this hive.
I'm sorry. I got the bee lung. Can't go on. I got no honey left. I'm tapped out.
You can carry other people's honey then.
I've run my course.
You can either get up now, boy, or I'll let you die there.
Just let me die in peace. Just let me go quietly into that good night.
Janet, there's another one in here. You're gonna have to carry him out. Then, like, Janet comes in, and, like, they get, like, it's like, it would be like two nurses, but they would come in, and they would put the bee on, like, one of those gurneys, and they'd, like, slowly bring him to the side of the hive and, like, fling him off into the trash can, like the cardinal. And then it would just fly through the air.
Oh, man.
It might be swarming season, Jacob.
Oh, man. It's so fun to anthropomorphize bees.
It is.
Anyways, other workers provide water to the hive and help to provide protection to all members, which make up the hive colony.
Oh, good. So there's just like, it's like the water boy of the hive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own purpose. It's like a communist society.
Yeah, and then he's like Adam Sandler, and he's like handing all like the football players water, but then he's like the star player of the team. Good job, water boy bees.
Yeah.
You're the stars on the inside of the hive. We all know it.
Go bees.
And okay, so
you know, there is definitely some chatter in the last few years about like the possibility or the worry about bees like dying off. So we should ask the internet, what happens if all the bees go bye-bye?
Now you're getting the searching, Jacob.
Just like
when the
bees go bye-bye? Question mark.
What happens when the bees go bye-bye? Oh, here we go. It works every time, dude. What happens if the bees die out?
Man, you are absolutely like indoctrinating me with getting into a simpleton mindset to search on Google.
Yeah, see? Look what's come out of it. We've got the answer. So, do you want to read the answer since you were so curious about what happens if the bees go bye-bye?
What happens if bees die out? Honeybees are responsible for 30 billion a year in crops. Already bringing money into it. That's only the start. We may lose all the plants that bees pollinate, all of the animals that eat those plants, and so on up the food chain. Which means a world without bees could struggle to sustain the global human population of 7 billion.
Wow.
Bum, bum, bum.
So the thing is, like, the bees are basically slaves to the population then, because they're pulling in 30 billion a year. But
they're pulling in.
Yeah, the bees are pulling in 30 billion a year, but the bees haven't gotten shit.
Well, they get the satisfaction of knowing that
creating honey for us to put on our toast?
No, that knowing that they're sentient beings that run collectively as like a machine would, they get the satisfaction of knowing that they're efficient creatures.
Listen, I am hashtag triggered about this. These bees should be getting paid.
Hashtag bee reparations.
Yeah. They're like, the bees are sitting there in their teepees and they're all pissed. And they're like, we need reparations for our land.
Teepees.
Yeah, they're little beepies,
Oh my god. Jeez. Wow, you fucking made up your own bad dad joke for bees.
Dude, bees are full of dad jokes, I told you.
The only thing you were missing was 1960s racist Native American accent. Honey, go bye-bye. Bee live in BP now. Me used to
all flowers died. BP in sand.
Me used to be a proud overseer bee in a colony once large and thriving, and now I keep to my tiny BP in the middle of this BP gas station.
So that I can fill up my bee car.
All right,
that's enough of that.
That's enough racism for today. Sorry, Native Americans, we respect you, and
we don't think that you're bees.
Yeah, that's that's why it wasn't racist. Because,
because it was. This is
it's
completely
bees. We weren't talking about
bees. Yeah,
it's a satire.
It's just combining two things together and then going with it.
Just need to slap that satire tag on there, and we're fucking good to go.
Yeah, you need to slap that like button and subscribe as well.
Slap that like button.
Yeah, slap it.
Yeah, slap that fucking thing.
Alright, so, we know what would happen if the bees die out. Yeah. Or else we're gonna put a bunch of beehives at your house.
For every person that doesn't like and or subscribe, we're gonna murder one bee.
And you know that we're gonna be 30 billion even more in debt.
We're just gonna have
if the last bee gets killed because of this podcast.
We're gonna have like a montage video of like us with like a teeny tiny like 1-inch grindstone wheel with like a tiny little knife, just like sharpening a little bee-sized knife.
They've introduced knives to the hive. All the bees are killing each other.
We have bee on bee violence.
The watcher bees have been stabbed by the worker bees 14 times now.
Yeah, we're going to start introducing bee drugs and bee weapons.
He's like, you'll never whip me again, boss. I've got this little bee knife and it's going into your chest.
It's time for the drones to rise up.
It's like, we're coming for the queen now. We're going to be the ones getting laid.
We're in line to fuck the queen next, and you ain't gonna get in my fucking way. It's the bee revolution.
But then the line is super tame with each other. It's like they all have knives, but they're like playing patty cake and stuff. They're just like good friends, but then whenever one of the bees that used to whip them come over, they're like, no, you can't get in the line anymore.
Man, that sounds like a fucking prison yard. Or like a post-apocalyptic movie.
Yep, that's... There's a lot. No wonder Bee Movie came out. Like, there's so much you can do with bees.
Just imagine though if that, like, instead of the Bee Movie, it was like the premise of like Rise of the Planet of the Apes, but with bees, where like they got introduced to like modern weapons and stuff, and then somehow they like had a freak like radioactive like incident where they like turned into mutants and they could like walk and talk to each other. They're like 7 foot tall fucking bees.
No, that's a horrible.
Like
I don't want to think about that.
Just mowing humans down with fucking AR-15s.
No, with mowers. Like they're that big where they're just using mowers and mowing over the humans.
Oh my god.
Imagine how scary that would be. Like they didn't do that in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
They start like a mass like a human farm of like harvesting like human milk and shit.
And all we get to do is like sit around in our little huts and then like the mower will come to town.
The mower.
Yeah, and
for all the worthless humans that are dried up and they just fucking guillotine their heads off with a giant lawnmower blade.
Yeah, and then they go out afterward with like a vacuum and suck them all up so that they can feed upon them later.
Jesus Christ. That got really dark.
Yeah, I mean they gotta sustain themselves, so they eat humans and make gigantic 7-foot honey.
I like how we searched for like what happens if bees died out, but then we came up with a scenario where bees like ruled the earth instead of.
Well, it's okay. I feel like from the beginning to where we are at this podcast now, I've gone more from being on Team Human to being on Team Bee. Like I'm starting to think like.
Team Mutant Bee, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it definitely should be Team Mutant Bee. Like, the future would be better if it was run by bees.
Could you imagine how much more horrifying, like, Planet of the Apes would be if it was, like, disgusting, mutated, like, giant bees with, like, weapons and shit, like Mad Max style?
Oh, and they were, like, really hairy? Like, they were on those, like, what is it, SEM pictures?
Scanning electron microscope, yeah. And you could see all their nasty hairs and shit. Like, that'd be way more terrifying than stupid chimpanzees.
And they're walking around all janky like animatronics.
Yeah. They're
like clink clink clink, and then they're just walking with the lawnmower slowly, and then you find out that they're actually like these giant robot bees that were created by humans to keep the other humans down.
They mostly fly, so that would be even more horrifying because like apes can't fly.
Yeah. Well, do all bees fly? all bees fly. Well,
Do all bees fly? Jesus Christ.
Well, the thing is,
only the ones that don't have wings.
Yeah, wait. I think that aren't there any bees that don't fly? Like that live in the hive and strictly do work in the hive.
Flightless bees.
That sounds like
I don't think so.
That's a pretty cool band name. Flightless bees.
No, that's not good.
Yeah,
it just makes me think of Flight of the Bumblebee.
Question about flightless bees. Bee master. Flightless beetles and stingless bees. This is more. I think this first one's gonna answer the question. This is a forum on beemaster.com. And
is this for all the beekeeping singles out there?
Yeah, this must be like what Bee Swipe would be. It's Bee Master.
That person's handle
Bee Master Bait.
That person's handle is Miss Chicka Bee. So she had her own pun, her own bee pun.
Oh, that's sad. This one's Late Bee.
Man, bee people must be really into puns.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Bee Movie?
I never saw Bee Movie.
Okay, neither did I.
Is it good? Oh wait, you haven't seen it.
No, maybe we should like watch it for like a review segment since it's like an old shitty movie.
That's true. I mean, it's also kind of notorious as well.
It has Jerry Seinfeld.
Ooh.
He's the main bee.
I know that like Lil Dicky talked about Bee Movie in one of his raps before.
Oh God, I don't care at all. I'm not even gonna talk about that guy.
Fine, don't. He's good.
Sure, whatever he said.
Wait, I like it.
Good for you.
So, do you want to like go through and see what the bee people are talking about?
I didn't ask about flightless bees.
I needed to know about flightless bees, but so...
Well, this is a forum, so, if you want to sift around in these few comments, go right ahead.
Well, I mean, this is the story that's started this forum. It says I opened a hive and I have friends... or at a friend's place yesterday for an inspection, and he noticed something wrong right away. It was about 6 p.m. and there was not a bee in the air. Dang.
More bee jokes.
When it was opened, about half of the bees were gone since the last inspection 12 days prior.
Oh, the bees. They're going away. They're going bye-bye,
Ryan. The bees are going bye-bye. Oh, boy. Hopefully we find a way to save these bees.
Oh, the bees.
Now the weird part. It had 4 frames of bees, and only about 20 flew up during the entire inspection. That's way less than 4 frames worth of bees.
Damn.
Queen was there as well, and there was a few cells of eggs, larvae, and capped. The bees were crawling around on the combs, all while not one single bee coming or going into the air.
Oh.
What was going on in here? The bees were flightless. We gotta find out.
So that doesn't mean they're not, like, missing wings. They just didn't fly off the cone.
Yeah, they were just hanging out. So it didn't mean they didn't have the ability to fly. But still, I want to know what happened. Why were these bees flightless?
Somebody suggested, has anyone done spraying for pests in the area? Was there a storm in the area? Might be coming from a thunderstorm. They don't fly if one's close. If somebody sprayed, that would only affect the bees in flight and leave only the young ones, those not ready for flight, or maybe something else. So I don't know. Doesn't seem like they, necessarily have an answer either. And then Miss Chickabee says, first thing that came to mind was possibly the hive is swarmed, leaving young nurse bees that have not done orientation flights, a new queen, and new larvae from that queen. Possible.
So basically the hive's reset itself, so all the bees can't fly yet. So there are flightless bees, but it means they haven't done an orientation flight yet.
Well, that's just because they're baby bees.
Yeah, so babies. They're babies. Oh, boy.
Well,
we are dads. We are dads here.
No, we're
on People Also Search For.
Neither
People
one of
Also Dad.
Neither one of us have children. We're both cat dads.
That's true. We take good care of our pussies. Cat, yeah.
And our clits.
Yeah. Thank you. Alley-oop right there.
sometimes we gotta really strut out that highbrow humor.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Is there any other pressing issues we need to know about bees?
I think we should look up, since we were talking about beekeeping, like how to be a beekeeper real quick.
Sure. How to
be
Oh man.
how to be the boss and be the keeper. How to begin beekeeping on pollinator.org.
Pollinator. Hell yeah.
The NAPPC, National Beekeeper Survey of the Foraging Needs to Bee Colonies. Does this actually say how to become a beekeeper?
I don't think so.
It does not. This is a false place. Pollinator.org, you're not giving me the information I need.
Maybe you should just look in People Also Ask. There's one that says, how do I become a beekeeper?
No, we got to People Also Search for.
Yeah, People Also Ask. Well, yeah, I mean, it's People Also Search for.
Yeah, that's us. Look, we're on the front page of
Google
right now.
Yeah, our name's right there. That's how good our SEO is.
Yep. So People Also Ask, how do I become a beekeeper? Oh, here we go.
What if it was just like one step and it just said get bees?
That would be awesome. It's like quick to the point. It's like, yeah, of course. Thanks, right. Google. So how do I become a beekeeper? And we got 7 easy steps for you. Number 1, ensure that you have at least 1/10 of an acre land. Okay.
Real easy, Ryan.
Yeah, well, I don't know how big an acre is, but 1/10 of an acre seems like a doable amount. So number 2, start beekeeping projects in the autumn. So you got to start when the beekeeping season is right. Number 3, purchase a top bar hive if you want something lightweight. All right. And 4, so you got to. It's not going to come. You can't just get bees for free. You're going to have to purchase them.
Oh yeah, bees are an investment.
Yeah, it's like buying a business. You got to buy the bees and the bee accessories.
I sell bees and bee accessories.
I need a damn tap and hive.
Just tell me where the AA batteries are. How do you work in a hardware store, but you don't know where the dang hammers are?
I'm trying to construct a damn hive.
All right, keep going with
the steps. All right, so number 4 would be to get a war hive. So, yep, like the hive we were talking about before, where they were at war with each other to fight after the queen.
Yeah, it's spelled W-A-R-R-E.
Yeah, it could be were or war. I think it's war, but number 5, buy a Langstroth hive. So you need more than one kind of hive. You can't just have one. And then you gotta, number 6, construct a hive stand to store your hives. And number 7, get hive tools.
Yep.
That's all you got to do. That was from WikiHow.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah, you got to get the hive tools. I mean, that doesn't tell you actually how to do it.
I still feel like
that's how you would start, though.
I still feel like the biggest thing is 1/10 of an acre of land if you don't already live on 1/10 of an acre.
Yeah.
Because that requires moving.
I think you need an additional 1/10 of an acre of land, too. It's like you can't... I think the 1/10 of the acre is where you have the bees. Like, I don't think you could have your house directly, like, on the 10th acre. I think it needs to be its own 10th acre. So you'd need, like, 2/10 of an acre if you want a house on your property, too.
So 1/5.
Yeah. 1/5. Fractions.
So you're gonna become a beekeeper now?
I don't own any acres, so I don't own any. I rent. I don't think.
Well, I just thought maybe because you were so interested that maybe that's what you wanted to do with your life.
I doubt it. I want to be a podcast host for my entire life. But
okay.
No, like beekeeper. No, like I don't think I could be a beekeeper because I just don't want to be around. I don't even like honey that much. Like, and that would be the main the main perk of being a beekeeper is you'd have like your own honey all the time. You'd never run out, and it would also like be super fresh, straight from the hive. But I'm not a big fan. Have you ever eaten like a honeycomb or like?
Maybe.
I know you've probably had honey.
Well, yeah.
But are you a fan?
It's fine. I don't typically like sweet things in general. Like, that's not my thing. So
Yeah, see, I think you would have to be like have a passion for honey or a passion for bees if you were to be a beekeeper. But if that's you, like, you should do it. Follow those 7 easy steps, and you'll be able to start your own bee or acre.
Bee acre.
Yeah, your own your own baker, your own bakery of bees, where they wear little chef's hats and pull out black and yellow cupcakes from the oven and sell them to each other.
Sounds pretty cute.
Yeah, they would have big kawaii eyes, you know, and rosy cheeks. All right, so we've learned how to become a beekeeper. And I'm sure that we could look up what it takes to, like, what do you actually do once you have the place set up to keep the bees.
Well, there's one guy that has a video right there that says how to be a beekeeper, not a bee haver.
Oh,
which,
okay.
you know, if you're interested in maintaining a beehive, then maybe you should watch that because it's only 4 minutes long. But...
yeah, it's Flow Hive. I guess we could watch this and see what happens. Oh! No!
Oh, fuck.
Oh, my God! No! You don't put bees all over your hand. He just put his hand directly into a beehive. There were like hundreds of bees on him. That video did not make me want to keep bees. I don't want to keep bees at all.
That was...
uninformative?
No, I mean, it was kind of informative, but...
yeah.
It's like, before it showed him getting his hand covered by a swarm of bees intentionally... I was even thinking just like seeing him like out there around the bees without any like, he had the hood on, but he didn't have any other protection like on his arms or whatever. And I was just thinking like, oh man, I definitely wouldn't ever want to do that because like, I was just thinking about how like when I see like one bee just flying past me, I'm like, whoa! I'm like dipping out of the way. I'm like, oh fuck.
Well,
like,
you can't. You got to walk into it and you got to make them know that you're not scared. Otherwise, they'll attack.
I don't know. That's usually my reaction.
Me too.
Like anything that's flying through the air that like comes out of my peripheral vision, it just like gives me a jump scare.
Yeah, this bee straight trusts this man though. Like he just walked in there with just like a collared shirt and like nothing, and no bee was even touching him. They were just like, oh, it's dad. Like
it's dad.
It's dad. Like the beekeeper's the bee dad.
Yeah, and then like at the end of the video, like he was talking about how the bees like were swarming, which is I guess they're like outside of the like hive, and they like all swarm in like a big cluster. And he's like, oh, look at them, oh, this is so cool. And you just hear all of them like like this really loud buzzing, and he's like, well, always wanted to do this. And he like puts his hand into the swarm, and they all start like proceeding up his hand, and it's like, oh god, like they're just like all over his hand, and it was like, oh fuck.
It's that, and he never even like he didn't even have a glove on. It was like his bare hand.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's like something you can put on your skin so that like bees won't like sting you.
Yeah, I'm not really into that.
No, this is a terrifying thing to do. But I mean, if you want to have your own beekeeping yard or acre, you could definitely do it now. I feel like you just use the internet and research it a little bit, and I have faith that you'll be able to do it.
Yeah, he said it's easy as long as you know what you're doing.
It's kind of like watering flowers. It looked like he was taking a big steamer and like shooting some kind of steam into the hive and like probably like cooling the bees off, you know, because they're working so hard. You know? He's like the water boy of the bees. So,
well, maybe we can end with a nice pick me up of. Another installment of Jacob and Ryan's Search of the Week.
Yes! Because...
Real quickly before we say goodbye, Ryan.
Yeah. We like to do some searches during the week, too. So sometimes we bring that action to your ear holes. So, my search of the week was just a little bit of an instrument that I found that I thought was pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never seen something like this before. I mean, I've seen something like it, but I've never seen one that was quite as cool looking. So I found the Keith Hill Viola d'Amore number 72, and that's why I was having a hard time remembering what the name was, because it is a lot of things to remember that are words I don't usually say.
Gotcha.
So check this out, man.
Elderly Instruments.
Yeah, elderly.
Or elderly.com.
Now, this is like based on a 16th century instrument. But what makes it, I'm sure the listeners at home can imagine a viola, what a regular viola looks like. But this is what's like usually called a blind Cupid viola, because it has a little bit like head of Cupid on the top of it. But what makes it weird, and this is why, like, look how many strings this thing has.
Yeah, looks like it has 13.
Yeah. Which a normal viola usually has 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a 13-string viola, but what makes it cool is it only has like 7 playable strings.
Oh, it says it has 27 solo recording strings and then 13 drone strings.
Oh, so yeah, it's a 7-string, and then there's 13 strings that go under the neck.
Under the neck?
Yeah, they go under the neck, and they're like tiny. And you can see them, like they resonate with the strings that are above them, but they flow under the neck and under the strings that you can play, and they're just like resting underneath. Oh, see right there. See?
They still go over the neck, right?
No, they go under. They go under the neck. Like the 7 go in front of the neck, and then 13 of them go underneath the neck.
Oh, that's weird.
And out of the neck.
At the top where the headstock is?
Yeah, see, look, there's 13 that are underneath the neck.
Oh, underneath the fret. I don't know if they call it a fretboard or do they?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no frets on it, so.
Yeah, so, well, I guess the
it's like the fingerboard, I guess.
So I guess it would be better to say that 13 of the strings go through the neck and under the fretboard.
Yeah.
And then 7 of them are above the fretboard.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
And the 13 strings that are underneath, where you would place the bow on the strings to play it.
Yeah.
They resonate with the strings above them that you're playing, so it like makes a deeper sound. But it's just so pretty. It's a beautiful instrument. It only costs $5,500.
Did you ever try to see if maybe there's like a YouTube video of like somebody playing it?
I haven't looked anything up like that.
I mean, I kind of want to hear what it sounds like.
Oh man, we could go listen to this real quick. Describe its beauty. That was great. And
yeah, it's cool. Like it has a very unique sound, but you can tell like it's not meant to be played like how a modern violin is played.
Nah.
Like the strings are way more flat to the fretboard, or the like fingerboard isn't nearly as rounded as a violin fingerboard.
Nah. Well, and that's probably because it's a viola too. They're a little bit of different, like a little different shape. Violas are a little bigger, but
yeah.
And plus, it has 7 strings, so that's atypical.
Oh, it says it's a modern take on a wild 16th, 17th century instrument. So
yeah,
I mean that's still pretty cool. Like that's, and even the song that guy was playing sounded very like reminiscent of like, you know, like I don't know. I guess just that century, you know.
Yeah, we're bringing you the classics here on People Also Search For.
Yeah,
I gotta get classy sometimes.
That's pretty interesting. You know, definitely never knew about that instrument, but
I was amazed.
I have something that is nearly as amazing, Ryan, for my search of the week.
All right, I am so ready for this.
It's actually some might even say unbelievable or far-fetched, and So apparently,
marvelous, fantastic, unbelievable.
Apparently, there's a new take on extraterrestrial life.
It's extraterrestrial.
I don't want to say it's necessarily extraterrestrial, but it's probably extraterrestrial. Dr. Michael P. Masters, an anthropology professor from Montana Tech University, Montana, claims decades of UFO sightings and encounters have been mistaken and are actually distant descendants coming back to visit. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my god.
The doc has presented this bizarre theory in his new book titled Identified Flying Object, which examines the long-term evolutionary change in human biology, culture, and technology. Pretty,
Is this dang... What?
Pretty on the nose for an anthropologist. What?
I was going to say, is this dang thing trying to say that aliens are like humans that left the Earth a long time ago and then it came back?
Not left, but a key piece of evidence that leads the professor to this theory is when most people report close encounters with aliens, they always seem to describe them in the same way, according to dailystar.co.uk. Most sightings describe the supposed aliens as standing upright, walking and having 5 fingers on each hand and foot. The so-called extraterrestrial beings are bilateral, symmetric, and they have 2 eyes, a mouth, and a nose. Many also claim that they can communicate with us in our own languages. The phenomenon may be our own distant descendants coming back through time to study us in their own evolutionary past. Michael P. Masters says about his book.
So this is real? Like, people believe this?
Well, this is his theory. I mean, you see he's a scientist.
Oh, yes, a scientist.
Clearly a theoretical scientist. Well, originally he was an anthropologist. Also got his PhD from the Ohio State... What?
Oh, I was going to say...
What? Huh? What was that?
Nothing.
You were going to say what?
Nothing.
I didn't catch it.
What?
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Conspiracytheory.com. That's where he got his degree from.
AKA the Ohio State University.
Yep, that would make sense.
Alien abductions and medical examinations, in his opinion, prove time traveler. God damn it. Time travelers.
Time Traveler! The newest Transformer toy.
In his opinion, it proves time travelers are anthropologists, much like himself. So, you see, it's very related to his original field of study. The anthropologist who specializes in UFO sightings said these encounters can be explained scientifically, even if skeptics might consider this fringe science, an established field of study which departs significantly from mainstream theories. Dr. Masters said, I continue to remain vigilant in my own skepticism. I do not have a staunch, unwavering devotion to this notion, and I do not claim to proclaim the truth. What the fuck?
I don't claim to proclaim the truth.
Yeah, that's a quote. Dr. Masters claimed, again, going back in time to study ancient humans would be the holy grail of paleontology. YouTube conspiracist channel Secure Team 10
I told you
uploaded the video over the weekend detailing the wacky new book. Tyler, the channel's owner, further speculated the futuristic aliens could be humans coming back to help us in some way. The video has received some 277,000 views. Good for him. Thousands of people have shared their thoughts on the video. One person said, "Lots to think about there, Tyler. Thank you." Another bizarrely said, "No, UFOs are not time machines. They are interdimensional beings with machines that were constructed by fallen angels. That's right. They're demons." A third, however, added, "I don't believe in time travel from the future. It doesn't exist."
Scientifically speaking.
Just last week, a structure measuring hundreds of miles across was captured emerging from the moon's surface. But viewers have been left asking if all is as it seems. And that is the end of the article there. So
Yeah. They just didn't know where to end it.
So
they had the cold ending.
They had to end it at the cold ending. Yeah, they had to use fucking like YouTube comments from a guy's video that is a conspiracy theory website.
Yeah.
I just love the one that just says, "I don't believe in time travel from the future. It doesn't exist." And by the way, I hadn't even read that article.
If it existed, why haven't I seen myself coming back to say hi to me?
Yeah. I never had any Terminator-like moments in my life.
Yeah. I wish I'd had a Terminator-like moment.
I don't. That shit's scary.
It's real scary, but I feel like it'd be super fun. It'd be like playing a video game in real life.
So, what do you think about that, Ryan? Do you think maybe we have future descendants that are coming back with technology that we might soon develop in the next millennia?
I believe it.
I believe it. Fellow American, I'm just here to say that all this
time travel speak?
Time travel, I believe it. I totally support it.
And I think that we should take our government funds and put some of those into time travel research. So that we too can travel back and scare our ancestors.
Thanks, Obama.
Obama.
#B reparations.
Obama. Oh, it's the B president. More B dad jokes to end it off, dude. That's my favorite, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, we had to have one more dad joke.
Yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in to the Awesome Search For. Hopefully you had as good of a time as we did learning about bees and other weird shit.
Yep. Yeah, this was an adventure. I'm really glad I know more about honey and bees now. Everybody, go get yourself a 10th acre and just start a bee town. Just have your own bee town. It's like, don't waste your time making. We can just stop. Okay. Goodbye.